Dynamite Headdy is the kind of Sega Genesis subject that gets flattened into a quick label. Hidden gem, import oddity, rare cartridge, or cult classic. That label is useful for a title, but it is not enough for a real OmegaVG video. The real hook is head swapping, stages theater presentation, boss gimmicks, secret scoring, and surreal set pieces that change the rules constantly. This breakdown is about the mechanics, the search gap, and the reason this game can still earn attention now instead of feeling like another recycled retro pick. The search gap. Dynamite Headdy is not a random obscurity pick for OmegaVG. The search hook is clear, coverage often celebrates the weirdness, but fewer videos explain how the constant gimmick churn is structured. That makes it useful for a long-form slot because the viewer can understand the promise quickly. This is not just a review of a Sega Genesis game. It is an explanation of the design problem people usually skip. The headline mechanic is head swapping, stages theater presentation, boss gimmicks, secret scoring, and surreal set pieces that change the rules constantly. That is visual enough for footage, specific enough for chapters, and strange enough to avoid sounding like another generic retro list entry. The goal is to make the footage prove the argument, why Dynamite Headdy works, where it fights back, and why the topic still has room on YouTube. The core step. The first thing to understand is that the head throw is attack, grapple, puzzle key, and character identity, while alternate heads briefly rewrite the rules. That gives the video a mechanical center instead of a nostalgia center. Every clip should answer one question. What does the player know here that a first-time viewer would miss? At practice, that means slowing down the moments where the game looks obvious. A jump, swing, part choice, root branch, or attack can carry more information than the screen initially admits. Once that layer is visible, Dynamite Headdy stops being a trivia subject and becomes a design case study. What players? Mice raid. The common misread is simple. Viewers often remember the surreal art, but miss how carefully the game uses theatrical framing to justify mechanical whiplash. That is where the narration needs to be sharper than a normal retrospective. The video should separate the meme, reputation, or collector story from the system actually running underneath. This is also where the stingers help. The movie clips work best after a clean sentence, when the commentary lands a point and the cutaway acts like a reaction instead of interrupting the explanation. The joke should never replace the explanation. It should give the viewer a breath before the next mechanic arrives. Routing logic. Routing matters because bosses and stages ask for quick adaptation, so routing is about recognizing the current stage trick before the scene changes again. It lets the edit move beyond "here is gameplay" and into "here is why this decision matters." A good source clip is not just clean footage, it is evidence for the sentence. The best rhythm is to show the problem, name the rule, then show the consequence. That keeps the video explanatory even when the game itself is visually chaotic. By the midpoint, viewers should understand the game's internal logic well enough to predict the next mistake before it happens. Why it fits OmegaVG. Dynamite Headdy fits the channel because it has a visible hook, a niche search lane, and enough mechanical texture to reward close watching. The channel should not chase broad retro nostalgia when a narrower mechanical angle can be owned more convincingly. This topic gives the title and the explanation the same job. The graphics package should reinforce that. Title card, safe lower thirds, source labels, subtitles, and a clean HUD that frames the footage without pretending to be the point. When the edit is working, the viewer should feel like they are being taught how to see the game, not simply being told that it is underrated. The history hook. The history angle matters too. It shows Treasure refusing to make a normal mascot platformer during the exact era when normal mascot platformers were everywhere. History is strongest here when it explains the design rather than replacing it. Release timing, platform context, developer identity, or import status should all point back to what is happening on screen. That is especially useful for search visibility, because viewers often arrive through the big historical question and stay for the mechanical answer. The script should treat context as a bridge into analysis, not a detour away from it. Where it fights back. The honest caveat is that the visual noise can overwhelm the mechanical clarity, and some stage gimmicks feel more like dares than clean lessons. Naming that friction makes the video stronger. A polished OmegaVG explainer does not need to pretend every cult game is secretly perfect. The better argument is that the rough parts reveal the shape of the experiment. Sometimes the awkwardness is a flaw. Sometimes it is the cost of an idea the genre had not fully solved yet. That distinction is what separates a useful breakdown from a fan defense. Modern revisit. The modern reason to revisit it is that today the game looks like an ancestor of experimental indie platformers that value surprise as much as smoothness. That gives the ending more weight than a simple recommendation. The video can connect old mechanics to current viewer vocabulary without forcing a fake influence claim. Modern players do not need to love every second of the game to understand why it matters. They need the edit to make the old design legible. That is exactly the slot OmegaVG can fill. Retro footage, third explanation, and a title focused tightly enough to compete. To take away. The strongest pitch is not that Dynamite Headdy is hidden, rare, or weird. The strongest pitch is that it gives us a specific design language to explain. If the viewer leaves knowing how to read one mechanic better than before, the video has done more than summarize a game. That is why this belongs in the second slate, and is a fresh subject with a focused niche, a clickable title, and enough visual evidence to carry a long-form edit. For OmegaVG, the move is simple. Own the underexplained mechanic, keep the pacing clean, and let the footage make the case. So the final pitch is this: Dynamite Headdy is worth covering because the design can be explained clearly, the footage has something to teach, and the niche is still open enough for OmegaVG to own.